Namaste students. Yesterday we had discussed about exercise problems of NCERT. Question number 7 to 10. Today we will discuss rest problems of chapter 1, that is 11 to 20. So let us start question number 11. Question number 11 is, why are decomposition reactions called the opposite of combination reactions? Write equations for these reactions. Students, we know that decomposition reaction reaction in which single substance splits up into two or more simpler parts. Reaction in which single substance splits up into two or more simpler parts. As for example, water decomposes in the presence of electric current H2 as well as O2. It is unbalanced, so after balancing 2H2O, 2H2. Here we see that a single reactant converts into two products. So it is an example of decomposition reaction. While in combination reaction, we see that when two or more than two chemical substances combine to form single product. As for example, when hydrogen react with oxygen to form water molecule. After balancing 2H2O and here 2H2. Here we see that two chemical substances combine to form a single product. And while in decomposition reaction, single substance decomposes into two products. So we can say that, therefore, we can say that decomposition reactions are opposite form of combination reaction. Next question number 12. Question number 12 is that write one equation each for the decomposition where each energy is supplied in the form of heat, light or electricity. So students, question number 12, write one equation each for decomposition where energy is supplied in the form of heat, light or electricity. So students, we know that decomposition reactions are of three types. One is thermal decomposition, where decomposition carried out in the presence of heat. So example, calcium carbonate heated, capital delta sign indicates the sign of heating. After heating, it converts into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. It is an example of thermal decomposition. Second one, electrolytic decomposition, in which decomposition carried out in the presence of electric current, H2O, in the presence of electric current, it decomposes into hydrogen plus oxygen. After balancing 2H2O, here 2H2. It is example of electrolytic decomposition. And third one, photolytic decomposition reaction which is carried out in the presence of sunlight. Here example, silver chloride in the presence of sunlight, it decomposes into Ag plus Cl2 for balancing 2HgCl and here 2Ag. So this question is completed because we have to write one equation is for decomposition where energy is supplied in the form of heat, light or electricity. Question number 13. What is the difference between displacement and double displacement reaction? Write equations for these reactions. Students, displacement reaction in which more reactive element displaces less reactive element, and we know that element divided into two parts, metal and non-metal. So metal displacement and non-metal displacement, but in this chapter we have to mainly focus on metal displacement. So example for displacement reaction, here when copper sulfate aqueous taken in a test tube and when iron nail in the form of solid dipped into it, the color of copper sulfate blue changes into light green due to formation of FeSO4 aqueous plus formation of copper. So iron is more reactive than copper, So iron displaces copper to form new substance, iron sulfate. So it is an example of displacement reaction, and the activities is confirmed that Fe is more reactive than copper. Second one, double displacement. What is the difference? The difference is that here more reactive element displaces less reactive element, while in double displacement reaction in which exchange of ions takes place. Here displacement, single displacement, a particular more reactive metal displaces less reactive metal, but here in double displacement exchange of ions takes place. For example, BaCl2 aqueous reacts with sodium sulfate aqueous to form BaSO4 solid white PPT plus 2NaCl aqueous. In this reaction, exchange of ions, because Ba carry 2 plus Cl minus Na plus 1 and SO4 2 minus, and here Pa2 plus SO4 2 minus Na plus 1 Cl minus 1. So here we see that exchange of ion, Ba, after exchange of ion, this sulfate combined with Ba to BaSO4, and this Cl combined with Na to NaCl due to exchange of ions. That is, here displacement, single displacement, and here we see that double displacement, and that's why we can say that displacement reaction are redox reaction, while double displacement reaction are not redox reaction due to exchange of ions. Now next one, question number 14. In the refining of silver, the recovery of silver from silver nitrate solution. In the refining of silver, the recovery of silver from silver nitrate solution. Silver nitrate solution AgNO3 solution, that is aqueous form. Silver nitrate solution involve displacement by copper. Here displacement by copper, that is copper in the form of solid. So write down the reaction involved. So students, it is in the form of aqueous, and when copper is added into it, copper is more reactive than silver, so copper displaces silver and form new substance CuNO3 whole twice plus Ag. Here for balance this chemical equation, NO3 whole twice 2 NO3, here 1 NO3, so it is multiplied by 2 AgNO3. So, and then after here 2 Ag and here 1 Ag, so it is also multiplied into 2. That's why it is balanced. So here copper displaces silver and form copper nitrite and silver nitrate here, and it is copper nitrate. Copper nitrate. Now next question 15. What do you mean by precipitation reaction? Explain by giving example. What do you mean by precipitation? Precipitation reaction. Students, we know that double displacement are of mainly two types: precipitation and neutralization. So precipitation reaction, double displacement reaction in which precipitate is formed known as precipitation reaction. Double displacement reaction in which precipitate is formed known as precipitation reaction. As for example, here BaCl2 reacts with sodium sulfate to form BaSO4 plus NaCl. After balancing, here we write 2 NaCl, and this is precipitate white PPT. Precipitate abbreviated by the term PPT dot, white precipitate. So question is that why do you mean by precipitation reaction? Explain by giving example. And due to formation of precipitate, and it is a type of double displacement, it is also known as precipitation reaction. Question number 16. Is explain the following terms of gain or loss of oxygen with two examples each: oxidation and reduction. So question number 16, oxidation. On the terms of gain or loss of oxygen. So students, we know that on the basis of classical concept, addition of oxygen is known as oxidation in terms of gain or loss. That is gain of oxygen. Gain of oxygen is known as oxidation, and we have to write two examples each. For oxidation, we have to write two examples. One is that when carbon burnt in the presence of air, it forms carbon dioxide. So carbon gain oxygen to form carbon dioxide. Here gain of oxygen, so carbon carbon is oxidized. Second one, magnesium burnt in the presence of air, it also form magnesium oxide, and here magnesium also gain oxygen, gain of oxygen, so magnesium is oxidized. In terms of reduction and on the basis of classical concept, removal of oxygen, that is loss of oxygen. Loss of oxygen is known as reduction. Here two examples. Number one, HGO, after heating it convert into Hg plus oxygen. For balancing, take 2 HGO, 2 Hg. Here we see that HGO convert into Hg, that is loss of oxygen. Loss of oxygen. Therefore HGO is reduced. Second, ZNO reacts with coke, that is pure form of carbon, it form Zn plus CO, carbon monoxide. Here ZNO convert into Zn, that is loss of oxygen. Loss of oxygen. Therefore, we can say that ZNO is reduced. Next one, question number 17. A shiny brown colored element X on heating in air becomes black in color. Name the element X and blue colored compound form. A student, in NCERT book, activity 1.11, page number 12 of NCERT. This activity is given. A shiny brown colored element X on heating in air becomes black in color. Name the substance X and black colored compound form. This shiny brown colored element X is copper, Cu, and it is heated in the presence of air. This Cu presence in air, it forms CuO, copper oxide, and this is black in color. So here, after balancing, 2Cu, 2Cuo, and it is given in activity 1.1, page number 12. A shiny brown color element X on heating in air becomes black in color. Name the element X and the color compound is formed copper oxide. Color compound is, colored compound copper oxide whose color is black. Next one, question number 18. Why do we apply paint on iron articles? Students, we apply paint on iron articles to prevent the rate of rusting. We apply paint on iron articles to prevent the rate of rusting, and rusting is the best example of corrosion. So we apply paint on iron articles to reduce the rate of rusting or prevent the rate of rusting. Next one, question number 19. Oil and fat containing food items are flushed with nitrogen. Why? Students, nitrogen gas is an antioxidant. Nitrogen is an antioxidant material nitrogen is an antioxidant gas, so this can reduce the rate of rancidity. Therefore, oil and fat containing food items are flushed with nitrogen gas, because methods for prevention of rancidity, we know that nitrogen is an antioxidant material or gas, so this can reduce the rate of rancidity. Therefore, oil and fat containing food items are flushed with nitrogen. Next and last question, question number 20. Question number 20. Explain the following terms with one example each. Corrosion. A. Corrosion. When metals are attacked by moist air, acids, etc., then metals are corroded, and this phenomena is known as corrosion. And example, rusting of iron. Rusting of iron is best example of corrosion. And second one, rancidity, the aerial oxidation of fats and oils, the food becomes rancid, that is sour taste, and this process is known as rancidity. Example: the bad smell of food items formed due to process of rancidity. So, students, we have completed exercise problems of chapter 1. So complete exercise problem, and next lecture we will start the chapter 2, acid, base and salt. Thank you.